Hi everyone, Sailor Moon here. Sailor Venus, Sailor Saturn, Sailor Ringril, Ataru here. And today, as you can tell, we're making this film from the bathroom. A room in the house that we don't always make films from. So today we're going to talk about, like why Pgsm never got put into English. And folks, when we're talking about Pgsm, we're talking about the FARSEER show that ran from 2003 YL to 2004 YL, which was the only live Sailor Moon that you have. Well, besides the plays, I guess, out there, and the song plays out there. And some folks in the Sailor Moon followership will say that, give their thoughts, and they'll say, oh, well, they was never meant to be put into English. And at first, yeah, you might think that. But why go for all that work of making it and never freeing it out to anyone? I have some guesses. One, Toei didn't. One, no one wanted to broadcast or even stream Pgsm. And yes, it would have been true that it would have been hard for Toei to sell, the Pgsm, the live Sailor Moon show, to other folks outside of Dawnland. Now, not to say that Sailor Moon still wasn't big around that time, it was. But for whatever grounds, Toei felt that they either A, couldn't get anyone to broadcast Pgsm, that's what they call it, short, and I don't know, they just couldn't get it. Either no one wanted to broadcast it or stream it. And keep in mind, that's my guess of why Pgsm never gotten outside of Dawnland. Now, a lot of folks are going to say that it's written into speeches. But that was really done to a lot of folks that had somehow gotten films of it. And then they wrote it into whatever speech they happen to be speaking. So if you happen to watch it and it's written in your speech, it wasn't put in there by Toei. It was put in there by followers, I guess, of the show, who just happened to spend a lot of time writing everything in the English, because it would never put in the English, and it would never, or whatever speech that was never got put into. Now I know some folks out there are going to say that Pgsm never got put into English due to ownership bind. And when I mean that, we're, talking about Aldeling Nyogolings and, the Toei business ownership of Sailor Moon, but I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't think at the end of the day that really had anything to do with it. And if it did, well, then I'm truly sorry for that. But then again, that's more of a belief, to why it was never put into English, or was never even why Pgsm never gotten any broadcast or streaming rights. And you might think years later that Sailor Moon is still big, and you would think that they would free that out. And they never did. Yeah, I don't know why they never did free Pgsm out. Why I never got no streaming or broadcast deals of anyone outside of Dawnland. And why I don't understand why they only made one following. I mean, at the end of the day, they could have, they could have made more than one following. I mean, who knows what Sailor Moon R would have looked like in that world, or how Sailor Moon S or Sailor Moon SS or Sailor Moon Sailor Stars would have been handled in that world, or what it would have looked like in that world. And the truth is, Sailor Moon will never know how that would have looked like in that world, or that world that it was in. You know, at the end of the day, no one will never know. So, need be Toei did want to have it out for folks, but no folk work in the other land didn't want to pick it up. And a lot of folks would believe that Viz getting the rights to work with Sailor Moon things, at least from 24 Between YL to 2023 YL, would believe that Viz would have gotten the rights to work with it, or anyone else would have gotten the rights. And still, Pgsm to this day is still one of those, I'm going to say rare offshoots of Sailor Moon, but it's something that very few Sailor Moon folks around the world have seen, because it was never truly put on disc. Well, if it was never, you're right, Sailor Saturn. You're right, Sailor Ringroad. You're right, Ataru. At the end of the day, no one will truly know why Pgsm never gotten any broadcast or streaming rights, why it was never truly put into any to the sundry speeches, and why still to this day it's still never gotten any broadcast or streaming rights, or never put any English or any other speech. I don't know. So your guess good as mine. All right, buddy, give this film a like, share and playlist it, and we'll see you later.